I'm a very good person. Like I cannot hurt a fly. When I got married, I realized that I'm wicked. I'm wicked. We're telling each other, oh, you're not going anywhere. We die here. For me, it was like
the big yash.
No. Aside that was very important. Looking at the flaws and say, okay, can I live with this flaw forever? You can have a very bad wife, but you cannot have like a bad in-law.
But people used to say that, oh, you're not marrying the family now, it's the man you're marrying. So I think for women, it's more like, if I've said this thing one time,
you cannot win all the time, basically. I think this is more on the women's side. They want to win
all the time.
But
I don't know why we always think the men can read our minds. You need to tell him sometimes.
I mean, a space where like people work crazy hard, right? But people that want to be with their families still be with their families.
Families, yes.
Like, you guys cannot send me a message between 8 to 10. I'm having dinner with the family and I'm putting my kids to bed.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the show. We're back again. I'm always the unserious one, so just get ready.
We made a New Year resolution that we're going to be better this year, so hopefully we will be serious.
That's quite difficult.
Yes. I'm going to hold you guys on
accountable, right? Yes, okay. Please. Anyway, guys, welcome back. My name is Kemi John.
And I'm Gabriella Akimboye.
Welcome to another episode of Brewing Her. Hope you guys are still beautiful and are still brewed. Anyways, you know, they have to remain brewed for me every time.
Oh my goodness, that was funny. That's new.
Yes. So you guys, today we have a special
somebody.
Yeah. Special episode.
When they say Dimpa, this is who they are calling.
What's the meaning of Dimpa?
Strong man.
Ah, okay.
Naso.
Odogu.
Yes.
This Odogu no be spender.
No, this Odogu is a good spender.
Is a
as an Odogu silencer kind of Odogu.
I wish.
All right, you guys. So on this special episode, we have brought our special guest.
It's very special to me.
I was going to say, do you want to do the introduction?
Yes, because we're marrying the same husband.
I beg you.
I cannot.
Please shed light to that.
He is my husband's best friend. And like literally, like they talk almost every day.
Yeah.
So that's why I said we call ourselves co-wives because it's two of us that are sharing the man at this point.
I've left him for you.
That's what he said when we got married, but it did not happen.
It didn't show up.
But it's okay. I've stolen his wife too, so I'm fine.
Yes. So yes, you guys, welcome Dami Oluyemo.
His name is Dami Oluyemo.
Thank you guys for having me.
Drum roll. Do you want to give us a bit of is it bio they call it?
Yes,
just like
about
something
yourself.
About yourself, and then we'll get in.
What you do?
Okay.
Marital status.
My name is Damilola Oluyemo. I'm married. I have a beautiful daughter with a beautiful wife.
Oh my God!
In the afternoon, I work in finance.
What do you do in the night?
In the night, I'm husband.
This is the first time I'll ever hear in the afternoon.
I work and at night. That's good.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Yeah.
Happy to be
here. It came all the way from
Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Can you imagine?
If you guys do them.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate you.
Happy to be here.
Yes. Okay, so Gabby, do you want to tell us what our topic for today is? Before we tell them what our topic is, we need to tell them to subscribe, you guys.
Yes, please.
You guys, this is a new season. Let him be the one
to do it.
Okay.
Tell them to subscribe.
This is a new season, you guys, so we need you guys to stay on point. So our guests, please do us the honor and tell them, our subscribers who have been following us actually
and watching us,
but they've refused to subscribe. So please help us plead.
Please. Biko na. Abi biko nu. Biko abeg. Click subscribe below. Below, just click it.
Yes, please, you guys, subscribe to our
channel.
Don't
do bebo room, just look and go away. Just click.
Yes.
Go stars.
It, like we used to say on this show, it does not cost you anything. It's free of charge. Just subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and then follow us on our social media as well. On Instagram, TikTok.
And it's the same name.
Yes.
BrewingHer podcast. We
Yes.
made it very easy.
Very easy, you guys, so that we can continue to be your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You can listen to us on your radio whenever you're traveling
car,
or just going to work,
doing
whatever.
your chores at home.
Yes,
you know?
we are always connected, right? Anyway, so let's get into today's topic, right? So today, what are we going to be talking about, Gabby? It's a juicy one. It's a very interesting topic. So Gabby is obviously excited.
I am.
So
It's
tell
a
us our
topic that people don't really like to talk about, and people don't like really pay attention to it. Loveless marriage, and it's something that I believe like a lot of people go into marriage for different reasons, and sadly, love is supposed to be one of the reasons, but some people
Sometimes
it's not. So we brought him because obviously he's married, and we're talking about loveless marriage. But before we do, we need to play a game, right? We have to know him inside.
That's a good point, actually. Let's do that. But just FYI, he's not in a loveless marriage. Oh. That's not why we brought him here. Right? Only about speak for yourself.
For him to tell you that he has two jobs, in the morning and at night.
Yes. But yes, I would believe you would be the one to like shed light into that topic for us.
Since you're in a marriage for love.
Yes.
Yeah, I will do my best.
Yes. Don't worry. We'll go through all the questions. But like Gabby said, let's play a little game.
Let them know you a little more.
Icebreaker kind of game, right? All right, so we're going to be doing rapid question game. You know those kind of games I would just ask you. And in 2 seconds, just answer. I don't even think about them. Just go. We'll put a timer on the screen for you. Ready? Eba or Amala?
Eba.
Fair or dark girls?
Dark.
IJJB or Lagos girls?
None.
Okay. No, you have to pick one.
You have to pick one. At least one.
None. I don't want.
You don't
You
like
don't
the
want?
Just Go Back girls?
No.
Why?
Not Lagos girls?
No.
Why?
I like my American girls. American
But it's not
Nigerian
the
girls.
American girls that are going to the Nigeria.
IJJBs?
They should stay here. They should not go.
Okay, none. Okay, Gabby, you go next.
BBL or natural?
Natural.
Okay, Liverpool or Arsenal?
None.
Ah.
What forbid?
What's in
Why?
this
I'm
support?
a Chelsea fan, so none.
Please.
Me,
All right.
Liverpool. Arsenal.
Okay, that's why, right? Because you're a Liverpool
I'm a
by force.
Yeah, by force.
Me, I'm an Arsenal by force.
My wife is Chelsea by force.
Love it.
All right,
So, last question.
Big yash or big breast?
Big yash now.
That one, I know
It has to be massive, baby.
I cannot.
Yo, that's
can't.
funny.
Is it true that most guys are actually nyash kind of guys rather than
No,
boobs?
I think
I
I know
some
guys
guys
that like breasts.
Really?
Yeah.
If I was a guy,
You would like nyash? No,
you already know.
You've been cursed
even
with
as
nyash.
a girl, gum, I won't like it. It's so juicy.
Yes. Please, for some of us that don't know what nyash is, it's butt,
Butt,
right?
yeah.
So most guys that I've met in my life,
I feel like it's the aesthetic, right? Like just
it just looks more shippy, right?
seeing the person from behind.
What if she has both?
both?
Even better.
Yeah,
Hourglass.
the yash has to be there. That was good.
His whole concern is the
I don't
yash.
like all those ice cream ones.
Which one is ice
Which
cream?
one's ice cream?
I don't know ice cream.
No.
Cone, big breasts, very small. Like this.
Like those cones. Oh my gosh, I can't. I love it. Okay, now we've learned something new on this show.
I
so
didn't
there's
even think
cone.
of.
I've always heard of hourglass, but now we know ice cream cone.
I cannot.
All right. That was fun. Okay, so let's get into today's business, right? So, loveless marriage, God forbid, like Gabby said, some people get into marriages for different reasons, right? And sadly, sometimes love is not one of those reasons,
Yeah.
right? So, first, let's even set the foundation by identifying or defining what loveless marriage means. What are some of the things that would say, yes, this one is a loveless marriage?
I think maybe loveless marriage is like a marriage that probably there were some like incentives for like going into the marriage. For example, like one of like the parties had like an ulterior motive for like going into the marriage. So like so maybe that marriage is like does not have love, or like maybe for example in Nigeria people used to like just bring wife for you from village.
Yeah, arranged
So-
marriage.
So
You know
that
that
could be like a loveless marriage,
I
so-
have a problem with arranged marriage. To be honest, sorry to cut you short. I do have a problem with it because I believe that the man go hunt for the woman that you want, love her, and if she loves you back, make it work. Why do I have to wait for a third party to choose who my partner will be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't
But
like
for
it.
me, funny enough, those marriages kind of worked more than
Some
what we
of-
have
some
today.
of them, yes.
I was letting you people land and then get into the arranged marriage situation because you're right. Some of those marriages actually
Last.
work.
I
So
don't
my
know.
next question to you before, I mean, are you done with this one first?
Yeah,
before I
I'm
move
done.
on? Okay, so the question that came up to my head just now is, do you need love to marry? I mean, what's wrong with having an ulterior motive?
I think in that beginning, you actually don't need love. You just need that infatuation where like both of you are
I disagree.
both of you are heads. I mean, it's you might term it love, but that's not where love is actually. Like at that beginning, you guys have to be like infatuated,
attracted to each other.
You cannot talk without sleeping.
Oh my god!
You have to put your
Those are
leg
the sweet
on
days.
the wall while you are talking.
Yeah.
Like those sweet days.
Yeah.
That's
It's
not
like
actually
put
love.
your leg on the
Teenage
wall.
love.
Like
Yeah.
that's
Came
not actually
out.
the love stage. Love is actually when you get married. That's when you truly know, do I really love this
So
person?
what's love?
Love is like, I think love is like maybe consistently showing the person that, oh, I want to be there for you. I want to like do stuff for you. I think that's love. Love is not, oh,
It's not the
I
calling
love you, I
you.
love you. That's infatuation.
I think that's what we get. We mix up a lot.
Yeah. Some people
'Cause
get mixed up with that, and then when they go into the marriage, go.
you start saying that,
things
wait, you are not calling me the way you used to call me before. We don't talk till
But you know that
1
that's
a.m.
very
again.
common though.
Yes. So you're saying that one, those traits, that's not actually
That's
love.
not
That's
love,
just
yeah.
your infatuation stage
Yeah.
or attraction
So like,
stage.
if you
teenage
guys
love.
never even have that stage, like, I don't think.
Then
should
what
even-
are you doing?
Yeah, you should not even get married because like, in the end, like, probably not because you don't have like that stage of where like it was so crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why for me, even if it's an arranged marriage
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't get that opportunity to go through that phase, I feel like now when you enter that marriage, you should be able to
Start
build
doing-
those steps that you're talking about.
Yeah, so-
where it's still shocking you and all that. Yeah. And maybe those are the things those people do that then end up working for them.
I mean, at that stage, it's no more shocking you. Now it's like the real thing where you have to like.
Sadly,
It's
we
abstract
have
you
lumped
already.
both of it together.
Yeah,
This
like,
period
because
now.
especially kids start coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Start
another
coming
thing
in.
that
So like
would
it's-
test your love for your
so
partner.
all those
Yes.
none of you can do all those lovey like by the
Child.
time the child is crying, the love will run out.
We'll
of
run
it.
out of it. What if they waited and just be like, let's get to know each other. Let's go through this shocking phase first.
Together.
I mean, yeah, then they probably wouldn't get married immediately after like the arranged marriage.
Let's say they got married.
Yeah, so-
and in that after the marriage, they decide, both of them now decide, well, I guess in that stage they probably don't have
Then
decisions
they
to
can
make
do
in
the
their
love,
lives. Right?
lovey-dovey and get to know each other, go out, travel,
Yeah.
do all sorts. But yeah.
Do you think that's a step to loving somebody? Do you think that's like loving somebody cannot happen unless you've gone through
The puppy dog.
this
Yeah.
puppy dog kind of attraction stage?
I think loving someone can still happen. Like, I think loving someone is like both parties like making a decision
Choosing
like, I
that.
want to like love this person. Like, so like it can still happen even without going through the infatuation stage of like, oh, like lovey-dovey. But like it's, I think loving someone is like, oh, you saying, okay, what does this person like? What does this person doesn't like? So what doesn't this person like? And I consistently try to do what this person likes authentically, basically, like without
Compromise.
taking much from yourself, basically.
Yeah. So I guess the reason why I asked that is that even though we kind of like say it, oh, it's like infatuation, it's puppy dog love stage. I think that's a very important
That
stage as
stage,
well
yeah.
because that's when you get to know.
Attraction starting to build up.
Yes, and
yeah.
then you even get to know each other as to like, okay, what do
Yeah.
you like, what don't you like? Enough to now say, I can sacrifice for this person, no, I can't, right? So imagine if you didn't go through that stage.
So yeah, I think you need that stage because let's say when you get into marriage after that stage, you have something to like always fall back on.
Foundation,
Like,
exactly.
So like, okay, but this guy is being a jackass now.
Yes.
Like, but he wasn't
He wasn't like this at the beginning, though. What changed?
But I know that a lot of women actually complain about, oh, my husband was like this when he was trying to, and then when he finally got me, he has changed. You think that?
damn it, tell us what happens. What happens when that happens?
Yeah, like, open door for me, breakfast in
everything-
bed, all
everything-
that.
Everything at that stage is not real. Like, I'm sure like
Says who? What if that's what the girl fell in love with?
I'm sure like the lady too did something in that period that the husband too liked. Oh, that's why I'm getting married. And when you guys finally
get together.
The person has stopped that. So like it goes both ways, because that place is like, you guys are not, most times you're not living together.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not seeing you every day, so when I see you, it's shocking me. Do you get it's shocking me when I see
you,
it's shocking me. Like, unlike someone like you're sleeping beside, you have seen Tinuted, or you have seen Inside Out.
Yes.
This was the new title.
Inside Out. You have said it.
You have seen everything. So like,
yes.
I guess that's why, like, that's one of like the complexities of marriage. Probably a lot of people, like 90% or 99% of people, don't think about before going into it. So.
Into marriages. Yes.
That is
So that is sad, right?
That's sad. Because like I used to think, like, you sharing more light makes more sense. I used to think like the boys do that or the girls do that at that stage to like, oh, let me try to get the girl. Like, you know what she
Right.
likes and you know what he
You're
likes.
just playing your
and
game
you're
right.
just, playing your game right to be able to get her. And when you get her, I feel like was not the point putting the effort. You know what I mean?
You might as well finish what you started. Like, just continue.
Just continue that, because I know girls too are guilty of it, and I feel like that's why some marriages tend to, like, when they get married and are like, oh God, did I marry wrong? Because some of those things that you like that the partner was doing and you were enjoying is no longer there.
Yeah.
And you are now doubting yourself, like, did I make a mistake? Because those things all of a sudden just
I mean, it might just be a lot of things, like, going through, like, it might going through any of the parties there. Like, for example, for like maybe when you guys were dating, you guys used to maybe do things a lot, like, but then like maybe like the child comes, the woman does not have that time again. Like, their head is not even thinking about like
you at that point.
So like it's thinking about the child. Will you blame that woman that you used to do this, now there's a reason, like for example, maybe the guy now, that time he was squatting with his friend. Now you guys have to pay rent. His head is thinking about how to bring money. So like, I think there are different things that like feeds into the reason why those things stop. Well, I'm not saying like you should stop, but like I think that's why like people have to like be intentional. Like the couples have to be intentional. That okay, let's plan to like maybe once a month we go and do date night. Once a year we take a
Even
vacation.
with the kid away with us, we'll just put the kid away for now.
Yeah, because like kids will be there now. You guys still have to live your life.
Yeah.
The bills will be there. You guys still have to live your life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So for loveless marriage, right? Would you say that people start off a loveless marriage from the beginning? Or do you think it's something that probably led to it? Maybe after we've gotten into this marriage now, love just starts to diminish? Or would you say that, like in the case of an arranged marriage, people just from the beginning, from the onset, you would know from the beginning that this is not a loving marriage, right? So would you, I guess the question, do you get my question?
Yeah.
Like,
I think the way I think about it is based on like my little theory of like that stage is not love. I think everybody starts on like a loveless base. Then it's not up to like the couples to build the love as years goes by.
So that means when you guys, sorry to cut you short, when you guys are in that stage and you both of you are saying I love you, you don't love each other, it's not real.
Don't love. Can you die for that person at that point?
Even in marriage, because people die for that person.
I mean, most times you should like at that point, like you should be able to die for the person, or like you get. But at that stage when you guys are doing
I
all
love
those,
you,
I love you, any small thing can
lead to the end.
Kill the relationship. But now marriage, it's not easy to just, even if you want, it's not easy to just divorce. Like, so like I feel like everybody starts at the base, then it's now up to both of you to keep increasing that base. Like it will be like the challenges, like because every challenge makes like builds a lot more. The victories, then kids will come in.
So at what point do you think that the love starts?
That's a good question. Yeah.
At what point does the love start? I think at the point where both of you are saying together, okay, yes, we're having all these challenges, but we are going to make it work. At that point, like
together.
Or at the point where you guys are telling each other, oh, you're not going anywhere. We die here.
I think,
yeah, it's a Mario situation at this point.
So exactly at that point where like you guys have the mentality that like regardless of whatever comes our way, we're going to make this work. I think that's where the point where you start saying, oh, like I'm in love, like.
Okay, I want to ask a personal question. So if you're saying that it starts as puppy love, not actual love. You know, the man, the usual sense, goes down one knee, like say, please, will you marry me? So for you, what was the turning point to say, this is the woman I want to get married to? This is the woman I want to love.
I think for me it was like I looked at like, oh, like
The big yash.
no. Aside that was very important. Like, yeah, you know.
Did you hear what he said? So that was very important. I cannot.
Aside
That's
that, I
funny.
think for me it was just like looking at looking at like the good sides of this person, looking at the flaws and say, okay, can I live with this flaw forever? Basically, so like, and once I was able to make that decision, yeah, I knew, okay, it's just person. Then I looked at the family as well, like, are these people good people? Like, if me and my wife's head, maybe one of
Touch
us
tomorrow.
is touching, can our family members
Bring
at
them
least
in.
come
Correct.
in? Although you don't want to bring family members, but at the point when it
There's
gets to
some
that
good-
stage,
yeah.
If it ever
does
gets
she have
there.
sensible family members? Because I know I do. So at the point where I was able to establish the fact that she does, so like, yeah.
So would you say family plays a part in love?
In love? No,
In
I
both
think
of
no.
you's
Based on our
decision to
question,
love each other?
not love in the decision to like maybe marry. I think family should like play a part. Like you should think and say, okay, is this person for
But
me?
people used to say that, oh, you're not marrying the family now, it's the man you're marrying.
No,
Do you believe in
no.
that statement? Like, it's not the family she's marrying
No,
him.
like there's a saying in Yoruba that say,
It's even the opposite.
"Yawo buruku sheni and not buruku osheni." That means
Yes.
you can have a very bad wife, but you cannot have like a bad in-law.
Yes.
Because
yes.
like because the thing is, I'm sure you guys are married. Like each and one of you, your head is touching. Like there are periods where like one person will just decide to be
one bolt will remove.
we just decide to be stupid. So like at that point where that's gone beyond where like you can't fix the boat back, then the family has to come
Has
in.
to be able to come
But
in.
if
Yes.
the family too, they
Already
they
are
have
against-
both.
they have losing both already. Then
Yeah, both
then
problem.
that's the end of the marriage. you get?
Yes.
So like
yes.
you guys need someone at maybe I don't know. Some people maybe use their pastors and someone to be able to like
Chat, like be able
bring
to
the-
talk it down
bring
and
the
help us.
calm into like when things are going south, basically.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so another question I want to ask you is, yes, now let's go with the theory of everybody starts on that first level. Well, maybe your level can differ from
Yeah.
other people's level, but let's just say it's not love from beginning, right? It's when
Yeah.
you decide to continually choose this person every
Exactly.
time, right? That is then love. Now, let's say that, God forbid, well, it happens. Let's say you've decided, and then, like you said, this situation happens, and there's nobody to help you talk it down. Or let's say even there's family, but or one of you shall refuse to answer. What do you think is happening at that point? Is the love then diminishing, or what are some of the maybe patterns or some of the things that might lead to something that like that deep? Do you get that can make you say, even with
I'm
your
not doing it
family,
again.
even with, I just don't love you again? Because maybe another
Because-
thing is people use the word love differently.
because I've always wondered, like, some people used to say like, oh, you cannot stop loving somebody. We
Right.
all have exes. I don't.
I thought I loved him at that point. So
Yeah.
what happened now? Because now I don't, right? So my point is, what are some of these side effects or patterns or whatever that can happen that can then lead to that point where I've decided to love you, but now I don't want
Love
to
you.
do it again?
I think it's probably one of the ones I see a lot is when expectations are not matching again. Like before you marry someone, you tend to have an expectation of who this person is going to be in the marriage. Then
Man, that's deep.
That's deep. We should take a minute.
then it ends up being this person is a totally different person. Now you cannot erase that expectation, so there comes friction. So I think that's one of like the major, probably one of like, if you look deep into like most of those crashes, like one of like the main things that happen aside from maybe someone coming in with ulterior motive and like when they got what they wanted and
And then that's it.
yeah, and some people are just pure irresponsible. On the men, majorly on like the male side, like some men are just like purely
Irresponsible.
Please, can you repeat that again?
they don't want to do anything, but like yeah, aside all those things, I think it's just expectations are not matching. So
So definitely it's wrong to set that expectation in the first
In the
place.
first place, is that because I
Because
don't think
isn't
there's anything wrong
expectation-
if you set an expectation, especially if you know the kind of person.
Right.
They are.
But the question I'm asking is, there is a difference between expectation and standards, right?
yeah. So I think
So-
what I'll say maybe like when you set expectations, that to be flexible. Like it has to be like flexible. So like in case it changes, you can adapt.
Compromise.
Yeah, and which is what marriage is about. Like you have to be able to like adapt, compromise, like because there are some things that you just have to like let it go in like for peace to reign. You just have to like you cannot if you have the mentality that like I want to win all the time. You cannot like in marriage because so like
please I'm so sorry.
Say that again.
You cannot win all the time, basically. I think this is more on the women's side. They want to win
all the time.
But it doesn't happen.
But do you think women want? I think for my own opinion, though, I think for women, it's more like if I've said this thing 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, the 1 time that she actually has like lost it, that's more because women. I don't know I don't know why we always think the men can read our minds. Because we are saying like he should know. You need to tell him sometimes. So I think we need to be able to just open up more if what I'm saying makes sense. Like open up more and start expecting that he should know this particular thing. Because a lot of time we have in our head set the expectation that my husband should do this, know this, know this, know this. And then when he's not fulfilling it, the day the note will just come, you are blowing out of
get an outburst. Yeah.
I think it's just the difference in nature between like men and women. Men generally want things like in a very simple way. Women, they want, I don't know, they like to make things much more difficult than it seems. So like, me, I might not be thinking, for example, my wife, she might think, oh, that means meant to take out that thing. But me, in my head, I'm like, I'm not even seeing that thing. Do you get? So obviously she was, okay, Mabinu, I will take it at my own time. But most times, women want you to take it at their own time. So I think that's where the friction. But those ones are petty stuff in marriages that I don't know, like it shouldn't really cause a problem. I mean, over time it builds up and causes problem. But yeah, it's normal. Like you guys will have arguments. Then
but what of situations whereby the woman has calmly told you that okay, I want trash to be taken when trash needs to be taken, and then the partner still continuously doesn't just do it at his own time. If she has that outburst, will you justify her outburst, or do you still think that is unnecessary?
I mean, you have to understand you're talking to like a man maybe that is receiving orders every day of his life from work, from everywhere. Now you want to be ordering me around in the house.
Well, I don't think he's ordering, though.
I mean, like,
if you ask nicely.
Like, for example, like the trash is full. Like it might not be as full as. That's what I tell my wife. It's not as full that I want to take it out. But it's too full. Like so you have to understand the person. Like this person will do it at his own time. Like just tell him. Like if you tell me, it's already at the back of my mind. Okay, I need to take the trash out. But if you are constantly saying, oh, take the crap, like I'll take it out. But then I might just do it grudgingly. Do you get? So it's like it's just the different nature of like men and women and I don't know. That's part of marriage. Like that's part of things you have to adapt to. Like.
Which goes back to the ability to be able to change for the person. Because if you are just rigid on this is how my things should be done and that's how it is going to be done, and you cannot even be open to compromising for the other person, that's when those
so
problems begin.
Compromise plays like a huge
part of your marriage.
Yeah. On both sides.
Absolutely.
On both sides.
Yeah. Okay, so it's deep. It's a deep conversation.
Like I'm thinking of some of the things he has said, and I'm like,
So let's say that you.
It's ChatGPT.
So let's say that you get into that marriage and expectations are not being met. Sadly, they did not marry the person they envisioned to marry, right? Because sadly, people are different. Like you said, you might be behaving somehow before the relationship, and then when you enter the marriage. Things change. You start getting to know the person, the real person, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that the expectations are not clearly met, right? Sadly. And let's say that you are even saying, I want to do the work to make sure that we are compromising for each other so that this marriage can work. But the other person is still saying, no. Is it possible for you to still then continue to love that person?
I think first, you owe it to yourself to first try to continue to love that person.
Even when the person is not loving you back.
Yeah, I think at the initially, yes.
That was hard though.
Initially, yes. So I think marriage for maybe those that eventually maybe go through all those stages and maybe walk. one person in that marriage will decide that, okay, even though this person, I'm going to continue to serve this person, even though this person is not serving me.
That's like selfless love. That's like Jesus love right
Yeah.
there.
I mean, that's what Jesus expects.
That's
of
what
you.
Jesus wants.
So I'm
But
going
it's
to
hard.
I'm going to continue loving this person, even though this person, and I'm going to do what this person, like, I don't know, maybe whatever like the love language of that person is. You continue to do it even when that person is not reciprocating.
Reciprocating.
So like I feel like most times if that person has maybe like truly felt something for you in the past, if that person sees you continually like
trying, putting in an effort,
then that person will come to his senses.
what if they are like devilish?
Then I mean, why
That
are you
mean, if
staying?
you're-
Why are you
exactly,
staying?
why are you staying in a
devilish with
Like,
someone
I
that
like
is
what
Is that
you
the whole
just
point?
said. If the person actually truly
Indeed
had a little form of
Mm-hmm.
that feelings for you, then I'm even Kalolwe. To be honest though, if you had that little bit of feelings for whoever you end up getting married to, then why treat the person the way you are treating the person? Like, why show the person less love?
why diminish the love?
Yeah,
from the
because
beginning?
I feel if you love the person from the very beginning, there shouldn't be anything that will make, only if
things can happen.
things can happen though.
Yeah.
But you will still have, I don't know, you will still
So,
have
Like
a
you still
little-
feel like
Yeah.
because of that beginning stage, because of whatever stage that I loved you,
Yeah.
you should still continue to consider that day or those moments to
Because-
still be using that to say you are not meeting my expectations.
Expectation,
But let
but-
me just
Because like how your siblings now, they say when you get married, that's your new family, right? Your sibling is your family. You love your sister. So if you have that kind of family love for your sister, I would expect that
That even
partners
after they
too,
hurt you,
after
they
they
will
hurt you, most family members still end up working things out. I would expect too that this is now your new family, intimate family. Your parents are now your extended family. You should have the same love you have for your extended family. You should
should be
have
able
that
to-
kind of love as well for your intimate family.
I think this is more difficult because like those people that you are talking about, you guys grew up together. This person, you're just meeting them when everything in your head has formed.
right.
Your brain has formed, your thinking is almost very rigid. So like you're like for your sibling, like that's why it's like love and hate relationship, right? Like you've seen them when like you guys probably
seen each other
suffered
finish.
together
Seen each other
growing
finish,
up.
yeah.
Like you guys suffered together growing up. You had very good times together. You guys fought a lot. Maybe you guys even punch each other. You cannot punch your wife or like you get the way you guys have like is different. Like you guys are still two different people trying to become one.
But isn't that when this saying, I don't know if you guys have ever heard it. Isn't this, so what I'm saying is, isn't that when the saying actually helps? And the saying is, when you marry somebody, you should already see it like, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Just the same way you see your sister or your brother.
You're not going anywhere.
This is for life, whether you like it or not, right? Isn't that supposed to then help in that situation?
I mean but you have to understand like the society we live in now, like divorce is a norm now.
People are choosing themselves.
People are already going in with like, if this thing becomes too
Yes, I
hard
like
for
what he
me
just said.
to
Yeah.
undo.
Yeah.
They're already going with that
you already-
mindset
exactly, you
that
already
I
have the
can.
mindset that
Yeah.
I mean, I'll cut this thing up. I don't have time for BS. Like,
But do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Going in with that mindset that I can leave at any time.
I think it's a bad mindset to have because it doesn't just affect it's like regardless of why you see it affects you like you and your next relationship. Like if you divorce and because most times people divorce and they think the next relationship is going to work. That's why you see like people that are divorced, they still end up going and marry another person and they will divorce again because
Oh my goodness.
there's a reason why like that relationship
Because you
didn't
can
work.
easily leave.
Yes.
You have not worked on yourself.
Exactly. So
To be able to say, because yes, as human, it's easy for us to point at the other person.
yeah.
But you're right. Who's to say that the same you that
is
left
not the
this
problem.
one is not the problem?
I mean, I think for me, one of the things I noticed when I got married was that like before I thought I'm a very good person. Like I cannot hurt a fly. When I got married, I realized that I'm wicked. I'm wicked.
Oh my God! And the fact that you can say that
I know,
It's like, I'm wicked.
Like I could
is
be
the
wicked. Like
self-awareness for me.
like I could be wicked because like I know I could be. Sometimes I'm wicked. Like
Yeah.
you just not even saying it. Sometimes it's like mean.
I love that you agree to
with
that.
I mean, that's the normal. Like like when I was getting married, don't worry, I'll say my wife, don't worry, I'm a very simple person. Like, but when you get married, when the person does something to you, like, I'll show you my own pepper. So it's like, so like that's how it is. So I think both sides, on like when they divorce, both sides always have some things that they could have done better. That's my opinion. Like both sides.
So you don't think that when they divorce, that's because of lovelessness?
I think it's most times because of like irreconcilable like differences or. I
But
think
what
so.
is-
Was
what
the
is
love
the
ever
inco-
there?
Is the yes, there's that, but because most
I mean,
people say
I was in their marriage, but like, but I would think at some points there was something there. At least both of them felt something at some point, if it was not arranged.
Yeah.
She gets.
what do you think marriage based on love now?
Mm-hmm.
What are the things that you hear and you be like, yes, it's good that they divorced? Like, what are some reasons?
It's like
some factors, I should say.
It's like violence. Once
I
violence
agree.
is already like me, I will be like, you guys divorce. Like once.
Do you think you can love somebody and be violent with them?
No, like you can't love somebody and be violent. I know, like even a child self, you have to be careful. Like even when child
That's
is
discipline.
Child is discipline. It's not even violence. Like
Yeah,
you
'cause
cannot
will
you cannot
correct
love
and they
somebody
still-
and eat them. Will that person push you to the point where like you feel like slapping the person? Yes, but that's not the person. Is not your child. This is your spouse. So you cannot ever be violent. Like, but you will get to that point. I don't know. Like, I've gotten to the point with my wife where both of us are like, we are raging at the top of our voices, but like we didn't ever get violent.
But what about the people that believe in giving flowers?
Flowers, like
After they hit you, they still love you. They just don't know what happened.
No.
So they bring flowers.
for me, that's
No,
love.
that's
like,
the mental
beg
problem.
you.
no, that one is manipulation. That person is
Yeah.
gaslighting you.
Yeah.
So like, if that person hits you once, maybe once is like, oh, mistake.
No,
If it has passed once,
I don't know about that one being a mistake.
I'm just even giving them the benefit of the
Of
doubt.
doubt, okay.
Maybe once is a mistake, but if someone should hit you once, buy you flowers. Be hit you the second time, go and
Buy
buy
you
you
rose.
G-Wagon.
But to some people, that gifting is a form of love.
Yes, gifting, but it should not be gifting after
violence.
violence.
It should be
It
the
should
big
be
gifts
just
should just
gifting.
come.
Why do I have to eat you then I'll buy you? Why can't I just buy you gifts
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
eating you? Do you get like?
I love it. I'm asking all these questions so that they can hear from you, from a man's
Man.
perspective. So that it's not just us shouting here every time.
I mean, I have
That
little
this is how it
experience.
is.
Just 4 years of marriage, but at least,
Go,
like,
yeah, but go buy 'em.
Still, you still have a different perspective from women, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, they can no longer say, "Oh, it's just women talk," right? This is a man saying
it. Yeah.
When a man hits you, it's not love. He does not love. Even if he buys you G-Wagon, even if he brings flowers every time. So yeah, that's good.
Suffering and smiling.
Suffering in a Porsche instead of
No,
like,
that one-
you know.
You know that's one.
because it can
Do
lead
you
to
believe
death.
in that statement?
Suffering
I
and
would
smiling.
rather cry
Cry.
in a G-Wagon or a private jet than cry in keke marwa.
Yes.
I mean,
Keke
it
nape.
depends on what is making you cry.
In
If
a marriage.
If it's just cheating, then maybe you can cry. Then
So you believe?
Oh, so can you
No,
love
no.
and cheat?
no, you cannot love and cheat. See, the person is
Wait,
saying,
wait, wait. So, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
wait, chill.
Wait, now repeat it again for
Wait.
the people at the back.
We have hit Gabby's favorite topic.
Wait, so you said the person is saying, oh, like they'll write, it's the person's choice. They said, I would rather suffer and smile in
In a Porsche.
In a Porsche.
Or Porsche.
So the person has accepted whatever that person has. But I'm saying if it's violence, I don't think you should suffer and smile.
And what if that's
But if
what
it's
is-
cheating and you say,
What
and
if
you
you can tolerate the violence?
Because
then-
some girls like it
can't
though.
tolerate
but you
cheating.
can tolerate it to the extent when you die, right? Then they beat you and you just die. So
Beware. That's all we
Yeah.
can say.
But I
I mean,
understand what you're
cheating too
saying.
can lead to death because person can give you like
High blood
sexually
pressure.
transmitted diseases
Ooh.
and all those things. So
Oh
like
my
you have to be
gosh.
like careful too.
So you are cheating and you're not protecting yourself.
Yeah, some people are, like you said, irresponsible.
yeah,
Some
exactly.
people are
I
irresponsible.
know you have problem.
Yeah.
But you've not answered my question. No. My question that I wanted you to repeat again: Can you love your partner and still cheat?
I think you cannot respect your partner and still cheat. That's
So it has nothing to do with love. It's respect.
is respect. I think for the men's side, it's like most times when men cheat, they're just looking for maybe that sexual. Maybe they're not getting something sexual that they used to get from their wife, or some men are just pure
Irresponsible.
womanizers.
So
So-
you believe that some people are like born like that?
They were not born like that.
They were
made
trained
themselves
like that. They were trained.
They made themselves
because they
like
used to be
that.
like, oh, polygamy is in a man's nature. It's in a man's blood.
Like they made themselves like that. They were not born like that.
Yes,
They made themselves like
yes.
that.
Okay, so let's rewind back to loveless marriage, right? So in what I've heard now is if God forbid you end up with the person that don't love you back, maybe like, you know,
That
the
was
expectations
sad.
are just not met and they refuse to change or, you know, be flexible. You're saying it's possible for you, the other party, to still care for them and still show them love and hoping that they
That
can
one day.
they can do that. What if in that space of time they go out and do things that hurt you, e.g. cheat on you?
Do you continue to love them?
It depends on
Yeah.
you and your principles. Is cheating a deal breaker for you? If it is, like then you probably need to leave.
What if now it's violence?
But anything that has to do with violence, I'm like, just end it.
Just end it.
Because
Right.
you can lead to death, like which is worse.
Right.
You don't want it to get to the point where like the person is eating you and you just die.
Yeah, because the reason why I mentioned that is what is tolerable to me might not be tolerable to her. Like I might be okay with cheating, and she's like, hell no, cheating is not tolerable to me. Some people, violence is tolerable to them, right? And some
That's
people, violence
bad.
is not.
So violence should not be tolerable to anyone.
I mean,
Should not is the word. The word is should not, but is it?
Yeah, I believe cheating and violence should not be like tolerable. Like no
Yeah.
one should tolerate it. Like
That.
like cheating or violence, like nobody should tolerate it. But which one is more tolerable? Like maybe cheating is like because
when
but
you compare the two
Yes.
risks, yeah.
violence. My own problem with violence is like I've seen like situations. I mean, I've heard of situations where like it has led to like the death of like the other person. Like
So,
you don't,
okay,
you don't
no,
want to get to
finish,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want it to get to that point where like it's because now you don't have anybody.
There's no
to
life.
love.
Yeah, it's over.
Exactly.
So, what are some of the things that you can do to love somebody that continually hurt you? Let's say that it's not even longer about, oh, my expectations are not being met. I'm just here in this marriage.
I think
Let's not even take it to the gravity of cheating or violence. It could just be the fact that we're living in the same house. We don't talk to each other.
You're now roommates.
It's hurting me, right? Emotionally, I'm hurt, right? Or like you just don't give me my love languages, or you know, things like that.
Yeah.
It's hurting me emotionally, and I'm still here because I still believe that maybe God at some point, you know, things will change.
You're
How?
praying and
What are the
fasting.
things that you need to do as that other party that can allow you still continue? Because I don't think it's that easy.
I think first you need to first see maybe look deeply. Is this person maybe you've tried to have the conversation? Is this person willing to change? First, like there has to be like willingness on like
both parties.
on both parties.
Exactly.
Then two, okay, maybe this person is willing and they're just not like catching up to speed with what you guys are trying to do. So you now should be like, I think now you should be focused on what's the good. There must be a good thing about this person, and maybe instead like you should just pull your laser focus on like that the good thing about this person, and you continuously serve them in the way you think they want to be served, and
not in your own way.
not what you think is the best, like in the way they think that, oh, like this is what I want. Like maybe from having conversations or from like maybe their complaints, like what does this person complains about this? Most times it's what this person complains about a lot. That's what the person actually wants.
That's
for
their
themselves.
need,
You
right?
And do you
now.
also think that the way the person is showing the other partner love is how they want to be loved?
Exactly.
Yes,
So most
yes.
times, like the way I'm showing you love might be the way I want to
You
be
are
loved,
crying
but
for
that might
that
not be
love.
the way you want to be
be
loved.
loved.
So like if that person is not meeting your need, and you, I mean, there has to be like a bigger person every time, right? If you really want the marriage to work,
Well, isn't that exhausting?
it is. But like, there's pros and cons, right? Like, especially when they're kids, like all this, like maybe like you guys splitting and all those things. There's so many things it affects.
It affects.
So like you should, if you can look past like just because you're not even sure the next person you're going to go to
It's
is
going to be
like,
any better.
better. Like you're not like, do you get? I mean, now you have more experience. Hopefully you choose better, but it doesn't even happen like the
Like
person.
that.
You know-
This person, you saw something in them before
Before-
you.
That
That
before you
actually,
agree to
you
marry the
saying
person.
choose better, that actually wants to lead me to my next comment or question, I should say. Speaking of, okay, these are some of the things, maybe before, for example, this person, your partner, if you taste her food, you're like, oh, Lord, wow, I fall in love again with this woman. At the time where people are doing your puppy love, your, you know, I love you, all that stage. And then you get into the marriage, she stops cooking.
And then you buy food. You guys will order look for one woman that cooks.
Yeah,
Like, that cooks. Like, those ones are like, I feel like those ones are like.
No, I'm just giving like an example. Like, so you're saying you already have like, these are the things that this person was doing. Like, these are the things you fell in love with. The person was loving you the way you wanted to be loved, right?
Yeah. All of a sudden,
All of a sudden, the person is making it 360 for no, maybe you've not actually remembered doing anything wrong. Do you think you will continue to love that person or move to the next?
First, like, like he's married now. There's no next, right? So like, there's
Repeat again.
Say that again.
Repete.
there's no next to marriage. So you have to now think about it. What is like? There's always a what. What's making this person
Change.
not do as like? It could be like they got a more stressful job. It could be kids now have come into play. It could just be like the person doesn't really enjoy cooking. You get, and they just cook for you because okay, it's a lovey-dovey stage. So anything in that stage can
just take it at face value.
So like there's so many reasons why that happened at that stage. And so like for issues like cooking, I feel like culturally, yes, as like Nigerians, but it's actually a non-issue. Like, the person does not like to cook. Can you cook it? No. And you guys order food.
I think that it's so good. Two things. Yeah. It's so good that you said all the things you just said, because my next question was, what are some of the external factors that can affect or lead to that loveless marriage? And you're right. Stress, children, things changing, can lead to those things. So I think the important thing I'm catching from here is the ability to change, the ability to be flexible.
Yeah.
Like if they were acting differently before, and now all of a sudden they don't like to cook. Are you willing to be flexible with this new person? Right? But most of the time it's not that case. The people are always like, no, this is not what you showed me before. So therefore, and to be honest, is the end.
To be honest though, like as much as yes, we are talking about flexibility, I don't really want to blame people who are not willing to be as flexible as you expect them to be. For example, a man he has, like we said, people have pictures of how they want their partner to be.
Have envisioned them.
They've envisioned that person. You found that your vision. You married your vision. And then your vision, mentally, it will stress the other partner.
Right. But the point that we're saying is, as much as it stresses you, are you thinking of a way out?
It's going to be
or
hard.
You are thinking of a way to make this your new vision?
It's going to be hard, to be honest, to say, okay, fine, this woman does not like to cook. After you are falling in love with a woman that cooks. Yeah. No, it's hard. To have that switch is hard.
I think like there's no way like a woman at that level like cooking and just stop cooking.
Even if it's not cooking.
Even if it's not.
What about
cooking is just an example.
The man that was always loyal. All of a sudden, he started cheating.
He was never loyal.
Mad. Okay, what of a man that used to...
He was never
loyal.
He was never loyal.
Oh, a man that used to give it hot, you will hang your leg on the fan. Give you monkey in the monkey shadow.
Hey, maybe now external
and now it's like, whoa, please.
Don't do that again.
It's external factor. Like now it's like he's busy. Like they are stressing him at work. Different things are happening now. Like it's just, I don't know. Like there are changes. Like, or maybe he's older now and
exactly. There's no energy. Age is there too. Yeah. So it's still, to me, I think it still goes back to that ability to be flexible, because even if it's not a negative change, even if it's a positive change, the one thing that we always forget is people will always change in a marriage, right? And you have to be able to live with the new person. You have to be able to fall in love with the new person and grow with them.
I don't think people will change. People tend to become their real self from the fake person they were trying to show you.
Oh my goodness. I was listening to something and that person said, people don't change. People just come to the realization of their real self.
So they'll become their, like, I think people become their real self over time. Because now am I pretending to you? Like, do you get?
Oh my goodness.
I'm just someone that doesn't like, I don't, because I know like, I watch something in a movie, just put flowers in. Oh my, do you get?
My goodness.
That was not me from the beginning. Do you get?
I think this episode is too hot. We cannot. This episode, it needs to be dissected.
Like me, that I'm always laughing. I'm not laughing today.
There are a lot of deep punches that are just being dropped.
I'm not laughing today.
Oh my God! Because you're right. Let's use a man as an example. Let's say he wasn't all that rich before, right? It was just a okay guy. You
Yeah.
met
Yeah.
him as an okay guy.
Money is
Where he always had time for you. He always like spent time at home. But now he's making more money. Maybe he has gotten promoted. It's not
Yeah.
even negative. Let's just say he got promoted
Yeah.
at work. Now he has less time to spend with you. Now you guys are building your time apart. Like you are drifting apart because there's no time to spend with each other. Do you like, and then God forbid, things happen in those spaces. Is that is that him realizing himself, like his true self? Like maybe I'm money hungry or I'm power hungry. Like this is I'm an ambitious person.
as a man.
Even if it's
As
a
a woman,
woman,
okay.
Like it
I
could be
think-
anybody, right?
It depends. Like generally, maybe like, for example, you guys like the couples themselves want to live in a big house. Like all those things come at a cost. Do you get? It comes like
And that's the cost I don't think we accept.
That's what I
We
was
want
going
to
to say.
always
We
eat
want
our
to
cake
eat and
and
have it.
have it.
Because why should my relationship suffer because we are trying to build wealth? You should
Yes.
always find that time.
But
You should
it's-
always know
it's
when
not
to cut the
possible
line.
because they're not the
I
machine.
I know, but I feel there should be a point where you say, okay, yes, baby, we are actually chasing money. We want to be rich. We want to get better. But every Tuesday by 6 p.m. is for us.
But some people, that Tuesday alone is not enough. That's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
it has to be like, for example, like for me now, like I came from finishing my MBA, right? Full time. I was always home. So now working crazy hours, like so now I don't have time to actually
360 switch.
do anything. But it's come at a cost,
Yes.
right? So I think it's both parties realizing the stage where they are right now, and now like, okay, making intentional efforts that, okay, this maybe weekend, like maybe once a month, we'll find time to do something for the kids, for like find time to, I mean, me, I still need to do better too. Like, it's just, but it has to be like a ground rule for like maybe the family that we will find time to do something because we know your job. Like, yes, you have to make money, but then you have to
Still building this
you have family
over
to
here.
as well
Yeah.
to attend to. So like it's a very dicey
is.
situation, but then like it's most times temporary. Do you get?
Do you when it comes to the money aspect now, do you believe it's temporary? Because as much as yes, we are thinking of we the partners, there's also true. Let's assume you guys have kids. You don't want to be a money father. I don't know
Yeah,
if
that's
I'm-
why it says that some men might now realize that they are money hungry. They are
Yeah,
power
you don't
hungry.
want to be
I
a
want to get to the
money-
peak of my
to-
career. I'm already on
and then
this,
you now finally get to
milestone.
that peak. You have lost both your
Your
partner
family.
and your children.
There's a story I heard of my husband's boss at work. I think he actually is the CEO of the company, and he was sharing the story of how that company cost him his family. Basically, he said he started up, it was a small startup, and then obviously the business started growing and
Growing,
growing, and
uh-huh.
he started seeing how important it made him feel. Like he felt
Good.
good, like as a man, like I own this, and he kept going and going and going for that. Is it power hungry? I can call it.
Yeah.
To the point that he obviously forgot his family. They got a divorce at the end of the day. He lost his kids and all those stuff because he kept. Pushing the company. The company now is big, is doing well, but at the cost of his family. So some people might not even know that I am this kind of person until they start this startup and then it's growing and then it's playing into their ego as men that this is where I'm getting this power feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not really like.
I think in that case, I don't think it's just the man's fault. It's like both parties' fault because like.
But would
How?
you don't
Because,
think the
like-
wife probably cried out at some point that we need you at home?
Yes, she probably did, but then you have to know maybe the man like doesn't even know how will I help myself in this situation. Maybe that's where like maybe the wife should have maybe suggested like maybe like therapy or maybe she brings out ideas of how to make it work, understanding the fact that
African
this
men
has
therapy.
changed. Like the dynamics has changed, like because even the guy I'm sure didn't know okay I will like he loves his job, like
He loved
like
the job
there's
so
a
much.
point
Yeah.
when you love what you are doing and like every other thing is like secondary to you.
Yes.
So it's now some people can get out of that feeling and go to other things that are even more important, but they don't realize that. But like it now depends on like having another party that maybe that's the wife in this case that understands and like is trying to help the guy and not just thinking about our own selfish self like oh, I want this guy to be with me, or like, oh, like spend time. Now maybe the guy needs help. Like I think at that stage maybe the guy just needed help, like how to manage. I mean, there's for someone like that, there's no work-life balance.
There's no work-life balance.
It's now how to
Obviously,
balance his life with his work. And it could be you guys just following into like work functions as well.
So at what point does she draw the line and say, I have tried supporting you. I have tried supporting this vision, this dream that you have, but this family comes or should, because to me, I think the whole idea that we even have of some people love their job, that every other thing becomes secondary, including the family. I think that's already fundamentally wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because some people, I think that's not a priority. Family is not a priority. So at what point can she then say, obviously, this family is not a priority to you? That's why it's coming secondary. Every single turn, it is coming secondary.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know the right answer, but I just feel like to the point where the guy is just constantly just neglecting them. Like just constantly just neglecting the family. Like he maybe say maybe they have they try to make rules and say like, because like as no like I'm in a space where like people work crazy hard, right? But people that want to be with their families still be with their families.
Families, yes.
Like if you
always
if your
make
family
time for things
is your
you love.
priority,
Yes.
like for example, like I have some of my MDs, they block their calendars. Like you cannot reach out to them
at so time.
Yes.
So time is dinner time. You cannot like send them like maybe you send them an email, they will not respond until you get. Some people build that kind of rule into their life. You guys cannot send me a message between 8 to 10. I'm having dinner with the family and I'm putting my kids to bed. So at that point, you're at the point where I am now, like I'm not in charge of my schedule. So maybe it's understandable if like some things are still very rigid. But at the point where you're getting like to the top of your career, like you are most times in charge of your schedule.
You are your own boss at this point.
Yes, you are your own boss. You can fix, like maybe your child has a recital in school. You can block that calendar. Nobody can put anything on your calendar for that period because So it's like someone that really has their family as priority. They won't neglect their family.
You're very right. You're very right. So now leading back to loveless marriage, using this example as a good one now. Would you say that if, let's say, the wife now, the person getting the other end of the stick, obviously this marriage started with love, right? They were okay and all that until power started entering the marriage. Would you say it is possible or fair for her to still remain, is it loving towards him even after the neglect? It goes back to that question of, it might not even be cheating. It might not, this person has a good heart. This person is a good person. Is not cheating, is not violent towards me, but this other aspect of him, this neglect part of it, how would this person then continue to stay in that marriage?
Because sadly,
would you say it is okay for her to remain in that marriage?
Because sadly, a lot of women thrive by attention.
Yes.
So
if she decides to stay, to leave,
would you fault her?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a good reason to leave, but you have to. There's always a reason why you went. Like you are going into something. Why? Like then you have to go back to why did you go into this marriage? So like that should be what is driving you, not how the other person is making you feel per se. Like how the other person is making you feel makes sense, but then like what was the end goal for the marriage, right?
So then, ulterior motive then.
So would you blame, like, if a woman like that now, who her husband has chosen work over her, if she goes out and finds that attention that you were supposed to give her, but you didn't give her, and she cheats, will you blame the woman?
Yes.
Why?
I would blame her too. I would have preferred her to get a divorce.
Like, I would rather prefer you get a divorce than like you going out to cheat looking for attention, because the attention you're getting from outside is actually temporary.
Yeah.
So,
would you advise her to stay in that marriage?
So maybe for like to an extent stay. Then if this guy continually like
maybe after communication.
Yeah, you've tried everything humanly possible. You've prayed if you're a Christian, or like Kewu if you're a Muslim. Like you've tried all the possible best. Then if you feel like living is the best way to go, then you do what you feel is best. I mean, at every point in time, do what you think is best for you, basically.
Okay, that's so beautiful. So my last question before we move to the next section is, let's say that both of you, moving away from this example now, let's just go back to our setting expectations, right? Let's say both of you envisioned a wife that does this and does that and does that. And then you envision a husband that, will give you all this stuff. But then situation happens and then the expectations or the standards are not met at that point. And both parties are not loving each other anymore. This one is past, one person is the one that is not loving. Both of you can clearly tell that I don't love my wife the way I used to love her anymore. I don't love my husband too the way I used to love him anymore. But there are practical reasons why you should still stay, e.g. your children. Yeah. Now you guys have kids, because how in our culture, say, once you have children like this, just stick to it, right? There are practical reasons. Let's say the children, you guys have built assets together. You guys have, maybe a business together or something. Would you say it's advisable for both of them to stay in that loveless marriage because of practical reasons?
That's a very good question first. It's actually a very difficult one. I mean, while divorce is not always the answer, but there are some situations probably might just be best for both of you to go separate ways.
Because you're just both hurting each other.
But then you have to realize there are like consequences too for those whatever action you are taking, there are consequences for it. Like you just have to weigh weigh the consequences, and if you think you can undo the future consequence, then go ahead.
Consequences like what?
For the kids, like it might affect them. It might. Most times it will affect them.
Most times it does.
But like it might. It depends on how you guys handle like parenting and. But it might affect them. Like the businesses, like you guys will have to split it into two. Like all those other things. Like also like you think you are going to meet another person.
That would be better.
After the grass is greener on the other side.
The grass probably is not greener on the other side, and it might even be greener on the other. It might end up meeting someone that that will meet those needs that you were craving for. So you just have to weigh those consequences, and it could go like either ways, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a marriage counselor.
I think you've given us a lot of
good
therapeutic points that we can be like, yes, let's sign up. I'm coming.
And so
all right, before we move. Okay, yes.
Speaking of, children being the factor, because children affects children when they get divorced and all of that stuff. I know age can be a factor how the children will take it. And so some people, they will say, I would rather have that strength for my kids to live than see them being in a marriage without love. Do you believe in that? Since we're speaking of like the factors which children.
The question again, like you.
So you know how we just spoke about like factors that people can consider. Say, okay, let me just stay. And children is one factor. Yeah. Would you rather, you are a father, God forbid, you will never chat that your marriage there's no love in your marriage. God forbid. But if using you as an example, I'm throwing the question, you person answer it as Dami. If God forbid there's no love in your family, would you stay in the loveless family or loveless marriage and let your child, for the sake of your child, and let her see how it is not to be in a marriage of love? Or would you rather separate and let her know that this can be better than this?
Like, what option would you choose for your kid? Would you rather them see a loveless marriage
or just separate?
Separate, so that they can see that.
I mean, what I'll let them see is like, even if like maybe one party, either me or like the other person, is not like behaving right, there's a party that's always behaving right. Like, so it's not, sometimes it's just not about like how like one party is feeling, like it's like how they see like I'm showing up, I'm doing the things I'm meant to do as like a father, as like a husband. That's what I think I want them to learn. And so like, even in case it gets to that point where like we have to split, they will see that, okay, like this person actually tried and it just didn't work out, basically. So, I mean, I wouldn't want them to, I don't think any child deserves when like the parents are like maybe antagonizing each other, like
to be seeing
that because it kind of feeds into them and the kind of maybe spouse they would be. So yes, if it's getting to that point, maybe like divorce is the best answer. So far, you guys can co-parent well. Basically.
So do you think it's advisable do you think there's a certain age for the kids to experience divorce?
I don't think any age is good.
Because I've heard some people say,
They'll wait till the
I'll
kids is
wait till the
grown.
kids are grown
Grown.
before we divorce. And they keep enduring till that time.
I mean, maybe it makes sense when the kids are grown because now they will know, okay, the kids
Wrong
like
from right.
the kids like even though maybe you don't put them in, they know who is right and who is wrong. So far both of them were like so far they were there when all those things were happening. They can decipher for themselves and say, okay, this person is so like maybe it makes sense when they are grown and you guys are still at that place where like you guys are not matured enough and you're still doing all those things that maybe should be happening earlier in your marriage, then it might make sense to divorce her. Then it doesn't really affect the kids because they see that okay, like this person was a jerk.
Yeah. As we're on top of as we're discussing kids, what are some of the effects you think that can happen for the kids in a loveless marriage? Not even divorce.
I think is
staying.
probably resentment. Like some kids just bottle up like bitter feelings from just seeing their parents like just constantly
fighting or not loving each other,
which ends up carrying over to like when they get married because that's all what they're used to basically. So like it kind of continues until those kids maybe like seek therapy or even know that they are going like they carry those bitter feelings. Then it might pass on to other generations too. So
it's perfect.
So
oh my gosh, this has been so packed with full knowledge, full therapeutic points, like we're saying. Like it's so amazing. Seriously, Dami, thank you so much.
Thanks to ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is in your head, yeah? It's just
I cannot.
Okay, so we'll move quickly to the solutions, right? So God forbid you stay in a loveless marriage or you find yourself in one. What are some of the solutions that one can do or a couple can do to probably help them move away from that stage of lovelessness to
loving themselves?
I think maybe a very big one, maybe it's communication. Like just having constant communication. Don't let the communication lines break between you both. Like just constant communication. Maybe therapy. My wife and I haven't done it, but I think therapy can help too. Or like maybe we have pastors too.
I was going to ask you, do you think spiritual fathers or spiritual factors do you think can help?
It depends on how sensible the spiritual father is. So like ideally you'll be following like a very spiritual, like a very sensible person that's probably seen, like I'm sure like many people, like to the pastors or like spiritual fathers, like they see different things so they can draw from those places to help you basically. Just have to know the kind of maybe spiritual father you have. Is he very knowledgeable in this kind of like situation to kind of help you basically? Or you just go and see someone that actually went to school for it.
Like a real counselor. So you would definitely say it's better to seek help and not just think you can solve it by yourself.
Yeah, I think also like it could be that you guys talk to like maybe not family should be like last. Like
what about friends?
Maybe friends that you know like that are sensible, that a friend that will not take sides. Do you get? There's some friends that like are very that I mean it's hard, but like there's some friends that you have that like if I tell Dami this thing, he's going to tell me the truth. If you have that kind of friend, maybe you can talk to them about it and just say like, so because I think most times you just need someone that will talk sense into like your head, like both parties, like, and your problems, like, because most times the problems in marriages are always very, they are stupid things. I sometimes when you
very petty things that you could if you're mature enough, emotionally mature enough, you can actually be able to.
Because like I think about like things that's happened in my own marriage. Like for example, like my wife and I's first fight, we're fighting over like she got the mail and I opened it, and she's like, where like in our
it's illegal. Don't do that.
She's like,
don't open my mail. And
she's like, oh, like she in where she, in her house, like her parents' house, like they don't open her mail.
Yeah, I think you guys, Ella and my husband, they have that same trait. A package can legit come into this house, and Ella will open it, and I'm like, huh? Why?
Me, I will open it because What am I? Are we hiding
Like,
anything?
he came to the house. He has our last name. Hey, let's open now.
So that was
I'm
actually-
helping you open.
It's
I've
amazing.
saved you the stress
Right.
of opening.
Right. No, me too now. I think I've gotten
You
so
started
used
opening?
to it. And no, I just don't care anymore. You opened it. Oh, okay, nice. Moving
So
on.
my wife has she won't now she will take it from mailbox and put it. I got this mail. I beg.
Open
Help me-
it for us,
help me read
exactly.
What is there? So
yeah,
like that-
yeah.
So it's just like.
I
So
believe to
imagine something as petty as that causing like
a fight.
First fight.
unnecessary fights.
Yeah.
So
I've
just-
heard people that toothpaste.
That
cause
one is
their
actually
fights,
the most
or
annoying.
toilet seats cause their
That one
fights.
is actually very annoying. Like, why are you fighting because they did not press toothpaste the plate? Because me
it's
now, I like the
stupid.
toothpaste pressed from the bottom up.
Yeah, I don't care.
I had
Yeah, I don't
to
even know.
constantly
Just
tell
press
my
toothpaste.
husband. Yeah, I had to constantly tell him that, baby, bottom. Like,
Yeah.
even when he does it, I just
Do it yourself.
do it myself. And then with time now, I think he's now, he doesn't even realize. He just pressed it from the bottom.
Yeah.
Like,
I
why
think-
will you not separate because of toothpaste?
Yeah.
Come on.
I think a lot of people need to understand the true essence of marriage so that they know that you can't just like you
Up
said.
and-
There's no next
Yeah.
to just be saying because of one little tiny thing, it's over, right? And seek help, whether
Yeah.
it's your family that you think is reasonable, or your friends, or your counselor,
Counselor.
or your pastor, or
Yeah.
anybody that you think that can help you guys move from that level and just get to a good space.
I think the reason why people try to avoid like families because like families generally they are not reasonable because like they want like the best
You
for
know,
you.
I thought he
So-
was
Family
going to
are
say
more
something
they are more
biased.
biased
Yeah.
than-
Because
yes.
they used to say your father and mother might forgive you.
They won't forgive your
They will not.
partner.
They will not forgive your partner. Yeah.
So because and you when you are telling the story, you will not say it today in a way where like you are the one at fault.
Oh, absolutely.
So like when you are
So they
telling
always
them,
take your side.
It's
Exactly.
like, yep.
Absolutely.
so
You're
that's why
very
like
right.
family is like very dicey and
You're
you
very
have to
right.
understand like your family. Would they tell me the truth? Like
You're very right.
even when it's difficult.
When it's difficult, when it does not please my hearing, would they be able to still tell me, is this good?
But generally, I think you should avoid family. Just
It should be like the last
like
option.
yeah.
Seek professional help, guys. Seek professional
This
help.
has actually been
Thank
very
you
educated.
so much.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
My
I did not
Pleasure.
laugh plenty.
Like,
I can't
it was
believe
it
that.
was a deep
Sorry.
it was a deep
Sorry,
conversation.
I'm
we
not
had.
basket mouth.
We had a good time. Thank you so much
I
for
did too.
opening up
Oh, we're
and
glad.
sharing those intelligent
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom about marriage and what marriage should look like. And if you ever find yourself in a loveless marriage, some of the things that you should do as well
Yep.
to help you get to a better space. And I like that we also talked about the effect on not just the couple, but like
But
if there are
children
children
involved,
as
yeah.
well. Yeah, absolutely. All right,
This was
guys.
fun.
This was fun.
And you shall not forget to go and subscribe.
Yes, if you enjoyed this video, if you
And you
enjoyed this
want more, you
episode,
wanna see
guys,
more.
I want you guys to actually go to the comment section and say, bring Dami back, okay?
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
this was
Bring
good.
back
This
Dami.
was great.
So I'll fly you guys to Charlotte.
Oh shit! I mean, what did we say? Hodogu what?
Silencer!
Yeah.
Odogu spender.
Very big thank you to our guest, Dami. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
you guys
so
for
much.
having me.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
had a good time. We had a fun time.
Yes.
Same, likewise. I'll
Thank
do this
you.
again.
He's a man of wisdom.
Yes. And we always give a gift to our guest, actually. So your gift will be given to him behind the scene, okay? We did not forget that. We cannot bring you all the way from
People,
North Carolina and not
as in-
give you a gift, okay?
I'll sue you guys if you guys don't do that.
Thank you so
I
much for
cannot.
coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
You guys subscribe.
Yes. Go and subscribe to our channel again, okay? Go and subscribe and also what? Follow us on the
Instagram?
social media.
TikTok.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Clicks.
Guys, so definitely we'll be releasing this video on YouTube and also on your favorite podcast platform. I said I was going to be able to say that this year. Podcast platforms. All right, you guys, until next time, remain beautiful. Bye.
Bye, guys.